Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are live with the CoDzone podcast on a Tuesday night. I'm your host, Shake, and this is my co-host, Wags. Man, I must say it feels good to finally be back. We've been gone a little while. A lot's happened since we've been gone. But hey, we're here. We're ready to go. Wags, how you feeling, my man?
It's definitely good to be back for sure, man. It's almost eerie, I'm looking here on everything in the Streamlabs in like 4 months, just a 4 month hiatus. I know it was kind of unexpected, and we were, gaining traction. It felt like, but it is what it is. Life happens. That's kind of what happened with all of us. But yeah, I'm not gonna make any promises and say, "Oh, we're back" or anything like that. But definitely, something I'd like to pick back up on, and I know you said the same for sure. So.
We're back. We're back. Don't. It is what it is. We're back. Everybody needs to get used to it. Get ready to get lost. Hop on the train. We're ready to go. Lots to talk about, my man. Champs just ended up. We got Vanguard around the corner. We got some roster stuff coming up in the future. A lot of craziness going on. Where do you want to start, my man?
Oh, I think we need to even go back a little bit farther than that. I mean, uh, what, 4 months ago we were in April. I mean, I don't even remember what was going on then. Let me get back there and take a peek, cause holy moly, the schedule back in April. I think that was what, Major Two, Major Three.
Yeah, it was around there. Yeah, I don't think we got to Major 3 as a unit.
Yeah, I think that was Stage Two. Major Two was at the beginning of April, and
Yeah.
then Stage Three went from end of April until middle of May. So, I mean, a lot happened. Rosters, were still changing, and all that. But maybe, it's kind of. I'm not gonna try and beat the dead horse. It is what it is at this point. But, dude, all I can say is I'm excited for season 3 of the CDL.
Absolutely. Season 3, just I feel like we're that much closer with things seemingly coming to a point where we can get back to a sense of normalcy. Like we saw flashes of it. Champs was awesome. Having people in the building feeding
Absolutely.
off that energy. Phase fans were great all weekend. Optic fans were great all weekend. Rocker fans did great. I thought
Oh,
they showed up a
100%.
lot, which was super unexpected, but really good for the league in my opinion. But it was just crazy to see how everything went down, and I feel like the jumps they made from season 1 to season 2 make me even more excited from the jump from season 2 to season 3, just because I feel like they're gonna make another jump, if not the same size, bigger. So as a fan, what's not to be excited about? Things are starting to get figured out more. Things are starting to return normal. You're gonna, we're hitting that 3 year bump, and once we get past that, I think, you know, I don't wanna say anything crazy here, but you know, Method's tweeted it, and I think he's got some. He tweeted expansion question mark. I don't know.
I mean, it's tough to say for sure, but yeah, definitely the hype for season 3 is already built, and we're only what, a week removed, not even a week removed to champs yet, like
Yeah,
literally 2 days,
seriously.
like, and it feels like those 2 days so much has happened. I mean, uh, cap off champs with both of our teams kind of falling short with New York Subliners and Optic.
Yeah,
Was a heartbreaker for sure. I definitely expected more out of them in the champs run. I thought that they were going to catch heat. Um, and either way, I mean, but you got to tip the hat to to everybody at champs, really. Even Florida and LAT with coming seventh, eighth, and not winning while they were there. But the format was the thing that a lot of people complained about, and that even myself watching it felt too almost stale. No real method to it. It felt like, and just you hate to see it, where teams could either catch fire because they've been warm and then they're rolling into a potential elimination match, or you're coming in ice cold and then you beat somebody. It's just hopefully they get stuff ironed out for season 3. And we talked about it before. When we were going heavy, is that everybody's got the CDL under a microscope, and it should be back to how it was in the CWL and yada yada yada. Shut up. It's a baby of a league. There's gonna be hiccups. There's gonna be growing pains. And just if you take a step back now and look at 2 complete seasons and the improvements and what the CDL grew on and found out, hey, this works. Hey, maybe this didn't. The number one takeaway that I liked is having all teams at events. That was the best thing they did for sure, in my opinion. None of this having 8, 6, 10 teams, whatever they did in year one. It just, that was not something that I thought they should have been doing. So seeing the improvement definitely was welcomed. As far as what season 3 has in store, well, I mean, I think the sky's the limit, honestly. I'm not going to set my standards way too high in what I do expect, but what I could see happening, that's got me really, really excited. I think, honestly, that, to start off with the excitement is the game. Uh, I liked Cold War. It was a good game overall. I enjoyed Cold War slightly less than Modern Warfare playing it as a game, but competitively, 100% enjoyed Cold War way more. Having the CDL and the league play in there versus Modern Warfare having the CDL playlists, that was cool. I did like Modern Warfare having that aspect of being able to curtail, hey, I only want to play CDL search, versus you go into league play and you could get 3, garrison controls back to back to back, or a garrison control and then a garrison hardpoint, and then a garrison control again, and another hardpoint, and another hardpoint. Um, but yeah, as far as wanting to hop on and grind, definitely enjoyed that aspect. And what do you got to say about that?
I mean, I don't know. Cold War was fine. Like, I liked what you said about the fact of league play. Like, yeah, there was a league play that was cool, and the competitive aspect of that was cool and everything. But I don't know. The game itself was so stale. Like, after I grinded pubs for a little while, I was like, is this it, really? Like, the game seemed super gimmicky, and I don't know, it lost it to me, and the maps they had were not very good. I felt
Yeah.
like it was a lot of the same mistakes they kept making over and over again, which is really unfortunate because the first Call of Duty I ever fell in love with was a Black Ops game. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of tough. But I've come to realize that I like Modern Warfare series more than I like the Black Ops series. That's just me personally. I think it fits my playstyle better, whatever. But overall, I think there was a lot of hits and a lot of misses with Cold War. I think where it
Yeah.
shined, it did really well, and then where it missed, it's like, guys, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like the fact that, like, in league play, GAs weren't taken into consideration. The fact that, like, we're sitting here with diamond snipers and smokes is ridiculous, and the fact that it took months to get overkill out of the perk
Yeah.
rotation, stuff like that. I get stuff take time. I get it. I understand. This year was weird. I understand, but like, it's stuff like that when I'm paying this money for a game and then I put more money into it in micros. And don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining about the money. Like, I don't mind paying the money for something I like and I enjoy and that I see they put care into. And this year, let's not pretend that we all at one point and another didn't feel like we just got kicked in the teeth by Activision. Like,
Yeah.
this year was just a huge blunder. They couldn't seem to fix any of their own problems, and instead of being transparent about their own problems, they said, "Oh, we're working on it. Shut up. Here's cool stuff. Go buy it. Shut up. Don't pay attention to the game. Look at this stuff." Which, like, I bought it. Don't get me wrong, it was cool, but I was still very upset about the functional issues of the game that made it bad. I talked
Mm-hmm.
about on this show how Warzone was unplayable for months in a row. And
Yeah.
now it's getting better. They're starting to do stuff to it, whatever. I know it's not CDL, but this is CoDzone, so we're going to talk about COD as a whole. But yeah, it's just Cold War. I don't know. I was super excited. I think my expectations were a little higher than they should have been, but whatever. Now I was just looking forward to Vanguard and hoping this is not as bad as World War II was.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the nail on the head. I'm not I'm not a fan personally of it per se on jumping back and forth between different timelines on hey, we're going to go modern era. Hey, we're going to go back to, the Cold War era. Oh, now we're going World War II. I mean, it's okay with me. It doesn't bug me, but it's not something where I'm just like, oh, yeah, this is awesome. Great idea. Um,
Yeah.
I really, yeah, going back, the last World War II game we had was Call of Duty World War II, and that one was atrocious. So many cool ideas, but I think
Mhm.
they tried to reach out from just the fundamental of what COD is, in my opinion. Um, but definitely, bunch of excitement for Vanguard. We're going to be rocking the alpha this weekend. I'm excited for that, 100%.
Sure.
Um, and then just Call of Duty as a whole. We got to that point where we constantly were having weekly discussions saying, dude, I'm just so over it. Like, give me a new game. And then finally the new
Yeah.
game gets announced. And it was the perfect timing. I think it's, they hit the mark, too, with hitting it right before the holidays, too. So it's going to be out for a while. People are going to get it. They're going to see their friends get it. And then they're going to be like, all right, I want this for Christmas and all this, that, and the other. Um, my number one hope, and I've been following it pretty close just because my love for Call of Duty. They say the skill-based matchmaking is going to be very similar to how it was in Cold War. I'm not personally a fan of it. Um, I'm okay with SBMM to an extent. They need to definitely dial it back a bunch, um, and put it to where I have. And I mean, I said this in a prior episode months back. How let me go pub stomp somebody, but not make it all the time. So hopefully they can get the tuning in that set. But the number one thing that I'm excited for when they announced is definitely the anti-cheat for Warzone. It seems even in the past month or so things have been better. Honestly, the weapon balancing is what I got to tip my hat to Ravensoft about. There's so many viable options at this point, really. Yeah, there's a couple guns that are just the meta, but overall, it's just overall preference. What do you like to use? What do you like in your hands? Whether it's a Kilo, a Krig, uh, I'm trying to a Growl, a M13. There's so many different options that's definitely made it feel better. My number one thing with Warzone right now is that I'm just so ready for a new map. I've been ready. It's been a good map. I like Verdansk. I did like the reskin they did in 1984, and the minor changes that they did. They did a lot of cool stuff, but I wish they would have done it longer. The satellites dropping in. You could get a satellite dropping in various locations of the map and get a loadout within the first 30 seconds of the game. Thought that was super cool. They let it last a week, and then they don't do anything else. I mean, other than getting a train added in or a couple red doors that transport you randomly across the map, they didn't do anything. And that was super disheartening to see, especially with that battle royale and how Fortnite, has set the standard for, in-game events and also just that fresh take. They've done their map over, they've added new POIs, whereas don't let me forget about the loud ship that nobody could hear talking over.
Victor 9 Delta Alpha. No, but yeah, I mean, you said it, and I was thinking it, and it's funny that we're typically on the same page with
Oh,
stuff like
we
that. But I
we
was thinking
actually just got a
Fortnite too.
raid here, Shake. To the boys, me is raiding with Party One. I appreciate that, man. For
Thank
anybody
you.
that's coming in, we're Shake and Wags. We do the what we call the CoDzone podcast. We mainly focus on the CDL, but in the off season, something right now where we talk about Warzone also. So that's that play on words of the COD zone. Feel free to drop a follow. We'd really appreciate it. Uh, we fell off the wagon for a little bit, but we're definitely on that grind for sure. Yeah, so hopefully y'all enjoy. Um, but yeah, hopefully the game
What
is
up,
definitely
Lou?
good. Oh, what's up, Mr. Lazy Lou?
No, but yeah, we're talking about like Warzone and stuff like that, and I was talking about Fortnite. You brought it up. I wasn't. I was thinking about it. We're on the same page. Fine. I was thinking about maybe not bringing it up, but Fortnite spoiled us. It really did. When you look at what it did at the time, I can't remember a time where all of my friends were playing the same game at the
Yeah.
same time. It could be a Tuesday night. I'd have 4 people asking me to play Fortnite. 4 different parties, I'm saying. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I got this group of friends, like, yo, you want to play? And I was like, oh, sorry. Like, they asked me first. And it was just like, we got used to that. And then Fortnite kind of died off. The skill gap got to a point where it's kind of crazy. No one really wanted to sit there and go builder pro and
Yeah.
creative for 2 hours just to be able to compete. And that was an issue. But still, you look at Fortnite, and I say this all the time because I don't think enough people know this. Fortnite is still in beta, guys. Okay. So they can make changes quicker and more
Yeah.
effectively than a game that's already been produced and the ones and zeros are locked. And in Fortnite, it's kind of
The
plug and
loophole
play.
that they
They can
play.
change stuff. Yeah,
Oh,
oh, it was super smart. The fact
yeah.
that they are still in beta is super smart, in my opinion. I don't think that they should leave,
I
but
don't think they ever will, honestly.
with no, but oh, somebody wanted to come join and say hello.
Oh, well, speaking of
Um,
hellos, our former trio, definitely miss him. Life happens. Mr. Kent, appreciate you stopping in, buddy, and you're always welcome. Whether we need
oh wait.
a third person or anything like that, for sure, brother.
But yeah, so you talking about Warzone and the incorporation of Vanguard. New map, new map, new map, new map, new map, new
Oh,
map, new map, new map. I'm sick of Verdansk. 1984, I thought was cool for 2 weeks. Then I was like, wow, this is the same thing. They just repackaged it and said, here you go, this is our best effort. And we said, thanks, I guess, because we had nothing else to go off of. Like us COD
yeah,
fans, we were just kind of like, we were like Gollum, like, yeah, it's a prank. Like just waiting for anything, and we were just happy to have it. But I think as fans, we got to start demanding a little more out of the company we put a lot of darn money into because we love it. We love Call of Duty. This is the reason we do this. This is the reason we have this show on the internet. Like I want them to give a fraction of a damn that I give. That's all I'm saying.
yeah,
I understand business is business. I get it. You got to make money, but you can do both. There's no telling me you can't do both.
yeah. I mean, honestly, I think I definitely am
I
excited
agree
for
with
the
you.
map. I'm over Rebirth Island though too. That to me
Mhm.
was the ultimate kind of frustration. Is they reskinned Alcatraz from Blackout
Alcatraz.
and brought it in, which honestly, my opinion, here's what we do to get rid of Rebirth Island, but still a fresh idea, and it just hit me while we're here on the show is Rebirth, but with sections of Verdansk instead. That way you got that nostalgia aspect, but it's not something that's been played out for as long as Alcatraz was, and as easy as it is to get on top prison on Rebirth and just hold that. You do that and you win the game a significant amount of the pardon me, significant amount of the time. So, yeah, no more Verdansk for me. That's for sure.
I mean, you make it an LTM, right?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it's like you want to have like a weekend double XP weekend. Hey, we're bringing back Verdansk for a weekend, like retro skins. I'm just give me a job,
Yeah.
put me in there. I'll just think of ideas. I can spit stupid stuff out on the wall and throw just
Yeah, absolutely. Um, they're saying the new map is going to be about a third the size bigger. Definitely am excited for that. I thought Verdansk was a good size. There were times where I definitely wish it was bigger. For me, I think the frustrating thing was you pull up the map and you got a giant map with a playable area already smaller than the entire map that you pulls up. To me, I was just like, why? Why not have it bigger? So, rumors I've heard is it's a Pacific setting. I think that's going to be super cool. Oh, Mr. Jakey Jake, what's up? Baby boy, would definitely appreciate you stopping in. Um,
let's get home.
and yeah, man, I mean, just having that aspect of freshness, just freshness. That's got me so ready. I mean, I constantly look at my phone. How many days until November 5th? How many days until November
True.
5th? And the way they made it
True.
sound in that reveal is that new Warzone map day one launch, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed for that. If not, whatever, I'll wait. At least they're not making us wait from, what Modern Warfare dropped in October and didn't have Warzone until March. So, um, yeah, you
So
know.
here's my question for you. You were talking about, the map and everything, and so did you wish the map was bigger, or do you wish that maybe instead of making it bigger every couple of months, they gave you new POIs and like move stuff around the map? Like Fortnite used to do, like every couple of months, they're like, oh, here's a new POI, and there's challenges there, go there, do stuff there. And then it's like finding, hitting and keeping the interest circulating so no one gets stagnant on anything. I get what you mean on map size, but after a certain point, like
I,
big, it's
I
like
definitely for me it's parts of it. I definitely because the map for me there was so many times where there's so much it felt like wasted space. Um,
right.
I'll use right now in this reskin of Quarry, now being Salt Mine, and they've got all these hills and stuff with train tracks going into them. Why can't you have a tunnel system where you're slightly underground, but not where it's OP broken either? Like there's so much stuff I think that you guys could have done. Um, it's just it's definitely frustrating in that aspect of I don't feel like stuff that what's the right way to say it? We're not asking that much. It feels like from what they're capable of. Maybe I'm just some fan talking out of my kazoo. Um, but yeah, POIs and moving stuff around would definitely be cool. I mean, there's sections of the map. Warzone's been out, a year and a half now, and there's buildings I don't know at all. You know.
No, no, seriously.
But then there's
Every day
also,
I'm like,
for me, there's also that frustration where I'll be playing with people and they, somebody doesn't know their way around the building. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, it's,
year and a half, dude. Come on.
yeah, like, you don't got to figure it out by now. You're killing me, Smalls. We just got a new follower, Mr. His Dudeness. You know who you are. Appreciate you, my guy.
Yes, sir. I appreciate the love. Can't. No, it's just a crappy camera. Okay. All right.
But then stuff on Vanguard though that I'm hearing too. I'm super excited for. It sounds like they're gonna have a not necessarily a pick 10, but up to 10 attachments just on a gun.
Saw that.
I think that's super cool. They've talked about potentially adding like different calibers in on a gun, um, which would be super strange. Oh, you're being summoned. Did you do your task?
He didn't tell me to.
So it's it's definitely it's gonna be interesting. What else was I gonna say? Um, it's just give me the game now. That's all I want. The alpha coming out, the beta coming out, those announcing the dates. Now it's just like, all right, let's go. Watched Call of Duty Champs and managed to score a beta code. One thing I thought that was super cool is if you scored a beta code that was for you and your friend. So me and Shake will be utilizing that. As frustrating as it's going to be for me, I'm going to be jumping onto the PlayStation again, just so I can have that earlier experience. Dang, we're jumping in with another follower. I actually misspoke on one of them. It was Miss Her Dudeness, so my apologies on that, but appreciate you. She knows who she is. And then Miss Kayla too, appreciate you. You know, it's just, give me more, give me more, give me more. And I almost sound like I'm beating a dead horse at this point, but the game is good. The Warzone in its entirety is so good. And honestly, I mean, the real complaint that is across the board was hackers. And now that they've got that
Mhm.
anti-cheat, you know, coming out, hopefully it actually works. Hopefully it's good. Do I think there will be times where there's runarounds? Yeah. But I saw a TikTok that kind of made a valid point was what if they waited this long because it took, hey, hacks from this website, this website, this website, this website, this website. Now they know everything. Hey, it's not going to work anymore. That would be super cool. Um, and one thing I think that Warzone could definitely capitalize is adding a ranked mode in that too. You know, Apex with a lot of the major
That would
streamers,
be super fun.
you know, Nick Merckx, Tim the Tatman, Courage JD, so many people, Cloaksy, just having a massive audience that said, "Nope, I'm done with Warzone. Done." They
Yeah,
got enough of
seriously.
it and went and played Apex. I mean, it literally took Nick Merckx getting hacked on before he could even land on top of Super. Pop, 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 pistol, and he quit the game right there. Task manager, in task, and loaded up Apex like that. So
He said, "I'm gonna go have fun for an hour."
yeah, so I definitely think that was a good thing for sure. And it's just it's exciting. It's exciting. It's exciting. Um,
I think Warzone with like a World War II spin is gonna be it's gonna be crazy. The mobility isn't gonna be as high, which is gonna be cool. It's gonna be focused more on gun skill, movement. We got slide canceling, mounting, doors are back, stuff like that. Tac sprint is back, I think too.
I don't
I
know on
saw
that
that.
one. All the
I
only
think I
thing that
saw
I know
tac
for
sprint.
sure is that they said with it being the same engine, everything should be seamless because Vanguard's running on the Modern Warfare engine, beefed up a little bit, and then this new iteration of Warzone, it should just tie in effortlessly. One thing that's going to be interesting for me is going to see how all these guns carry over. Because they already said, hey, your Modern Warfare guns, they're going to still be in Warzone. Hey, your Cold War guns, they're still going to be in Warzone. So you think about
That'd be
that. We're
fun.
going to have a massive weapon pool, dude. And I think if Ravensoft can do what they've been doing the past couple months, which I gotta, I gotta keep giving them that credit. It's been so fun in the aspect of when you're not getting hacked on. Warzone has been the most fun it has been for me since it's way back in the beginning. Um, that's how you open the hacks, right? Yeah, absolutely. Alt F4, open your hacks. Um, for anybody that doesn't know, Alt F4 is actually just closes whatever you have open currently, so that'd be a bad one. Um, and
And straight.
I mean, I don't know about that one. My guy, mouse and keyboard being smoother. I don't know. I think at that point, and Shake and I have talked about it a little bit. Aim assist for controller on PC, is it a little busted? As somebody who does that,
OP.
yes. But
OP.
people forget to make the other argument is if you play mouse and key on a console, you're getting aim assist too. So really, at the point of that, the only advantage PC has is that you're running higher FPS.
Frames. Yeah.
Uh, if you could choose the era of Warzone to play, like a map that
That'd
looks
be
old school
super
with World
dope.
War Ton. Um,
Well, Apex has multiple maps, right? That's a super good point. I like that a lot. It's a little off topic and a little behind, but I like that point a lot. So now we have Verdansk, we have Verdansk 1984, we have the Vanguard map, and it's like random. I did think that'd be super cool, where you can only use Modern Warfare in Verdansk, 84 you can only use Cold War, and Vanguard you can only use Vanguard weapons. I think that'd be cool. It is limiting, I understand, but like that would be cool. Like an LTM,
yeah,
like I said,
I think
like a
it's cool.
throwback weekend.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I think I still the only caveat to that is I don't want to limit the guns now. I think that's part of what has made Warzone right now so much more fun is having that massive gun pool, and then you add a third game in to have that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what's going to be nutty.
Well,
So
now I'm thinking. now I'm going back to what Ken said. I don't controller. I mean, I don't think it's a smoothness thing. I think it's just their latency thing. When you plug in a controller to a PC, you're gonna have that. So maybe that's what he's talking about, the input lag, maybe. But at the same time, like
Pardon me.
mouse and key, you have that flexibility, you have that pinpoint. I don't. It's just to me about controller. If you're on PC, like yeah, maybe it's not as smooth as far as your movement, whatever. But I've seen you move in Warzone, so I don't think you have much of an advantage. so, but like you know what I mean? Like
I
I think
think
I think he's just trying to be a little. Oh, mouse and keyboard.
maybe he is. I'm not quite sure. All I do know is that I mean, everybody who makes the argument on which is better, honestly, it's at the point where with how games are, it's just preference. You know,
Plus and minus, yeah.
I haven't played a whole lot on it, but I'm not that bad either. I know the games where I was trying to play with mouse and key, I didn't do as well as I did with controller, but I felt like I held my own. So hopefully, dang, we got another follower. Our boy's coming through with us. And Ayla, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
You know,
How we doing,
but
Alan?
oh gosh, man. I mean, yeah. Like I'll tie it back in too, man. At this point, the only if they give console the full 120 FOV, the only complaint that they can have now is just FPS. And
FPS.
that, I mean, does it play a part? For sure, yeah. But that's where you the player's anticipation. How do you play? How do you outthink somebody? You can compensate
Well,
for that.
yeah. Well,
Um,
that's the thing now is if you're a player that is physically very skilled and mentally maybe I don't not talking about their intelligence, but mentally their game sense and their game knowledge isn't that high. So now you go on a higher FOV, you get higher frames. Now you get that extra millisecond difference. And Call of Duty is all about milliseconds. Everybody talks about it all the time, and it's cliched, but it's true. So if you're telling me I can get a couple extra, not even a couple, what I'm on my PS4, I'm locked at 60. I could get up to 100. That's 40 extra frames in a second that I can see what's going on. I now have more time to react.
yeah,
I have more sensory input to process, more things like that. It's just it makes it a lot easier. And to downplay frames, I mean, talking coming from me who played on PS5 for a while, wasn't my PS5, but now is stuck on a PS4. I'll tell you, man, I noticed the frame difference. I'll tell you that right now. It's a big difference.
oh, 100%. Yeah, I'm not gonna downplay it, and act like it doesn't help. But that's what I'm saying. At that point, is if you do give the consoles a FOV slider, that's the only thing that separates them now. Because my
Yeah.
counteraction is, oh well, aim assist on PC's busted. Okay, you plug a mouse and a keyboard into a console, you get aim assist with a mouse. So what's worse?
I
And
guess
then
that's
there's
true.
definitely,
Yeah.
you
But who
know,
does that? Who does that?
I
Some G
mean,
Fuel snorting
hey,
freaks?
hey, my boy,
Like,
my boy Dylan Envoy used to do that. So, uh,
no, he's
ew.
just born different. I don't want to hear it, bro.
Dang, we got another follower too. Well,
He said,
I want to
Envoy
say,
used to cheat.
Lone Eye the rapper. I don't know quite how
Alone
to.
Eye the rapper. What up, homie? What up?
Appreciate that.
Thank you
Um,
for the love.
dude, it's nuts. People's rationale on arguments, and I make some stupid points myself too. I mean, maybe am I being valid or not? Maybe not, but um, hey, that PS5 at 120 FPS though, I don't think that's a true 120, because one, you got to have a
The
monitor
monitor.
that supports the HDMI 2.0 now instead of the or 2.1. Oh, I can't remember. You got to have a monitor that supports the new HDMI cables. Well, guess what? No monitors have come out that support that yet. Only TVs, and most of the TVs that have are big. So unless you're wanting to play on like a 40-inch TV. Then you have input
Right
delay
on a
just from the
55.
size. Um, so I mean, it's gonna be interesting for sure. I'm excited at the steps that have come, and coming from somebody who loves Call of Duty, who loves playing Warzone. I mean, I'm playing 5-6 days a week minimum most of the time, and it's been so much fun. Is there room for improvement? Yes. Is there room for a lot higher ceiling? 100%. So we can't take that away from them either. Now at this point, it's just boom. Really, I can't say anything more than excitement. Really.
It's also the anticipation of like I'm sitting on the edge of my seat. I'm like, I want this game to be good so bad. I want it to be good so bad. But like I'm so cautious knowing that it could be terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I could load up day one and I could hate it. Everything I've heard about it though so far, like I feel better about Vanguard than I felt about Cold War, than I felt about World War II. I haven't felt this way since the last Modern Warfare, which I liked a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was my favorite Call of Duty in the last five.
Yeah, I think that's super fair to say for sure. I'm right there with you. The one excitement that I will say as far as like a gaming aspect is I am excited to have that potential on playing other games now. The new Battlefield about to come out,
Mm-hmm.
Halo, coming out at the end of the year too. So there's going to be a massive W just for gaming as a whole. Um,
Yeah.
and then I think that they've set themselves up pretty well. Having Treyarch come in and collab and run zombies, solely. Massive W, I think that Sledgehammer did. Um, Having Ravensoft focus on Warzone, the weapon balancing, stuff like that, massive W. And then each other developer, Treyarch had Cold War last year, Sledgehammer has Vanguard, Infinity Ward had MW. So having that cycle too, where hey, you're gonna focus on this game, and when it's not your game, you're gonna focus on this, I think was super smart by them to have that just collaborative effort too to want to make a better product. All it does is push them all, but then they can all, hey, what do you think about this? We're doing this year. How would that incorporate with something you guys want to do 2 years from now? So
Yeah.
I think the
Well,
biggest L that I've heard about Vanguard is the doors. I don't like the doors aspect um,
I like doors.
for the competitive aspect. I like the doors when I'm running through pubs, being able to outplay somebody with that, but the competitive, it can just get so cheeky too. And then they're saying about blind fire. So, okay, let me open one door, close the other, blind fire around it, and then get something cheeky. I don't know.
I
I
just
think
think it
what they.
allows for more skill. And from a competitive aspect, you give people more skills to master. You know how many crazy clips we're gonna get in blind fires? Like not from me personally, maybe because I'm not that good. But I'm talking about like watching the CDL. We're
Oh,
gonna see
yeah.
some nutty stuff, and I'm saying like from a skill perspective, like I thought Cold War might have been more competitive, but I thought Modern Warfare has always been a more skilled game to play. Like I think it's broken down and it's a little more technical and there's a little more to it than Cold War games or Black Ops games at times. In my opinion, that's just how I felt throughout the franchise. But another thing I wanted to talk about with Vanguard in the studios and the production is it's nice to see that it seems like esports content creators, organization owners are starting to lean on and flex these companies a little bit because they're getting tired of the same old shtick all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody else besides you or I listens to the Eavesdrop podcast and stuff like that. He was talking with Swag, Hex was, and he's saying there's all these studios that Activision owns. Why is the game this bad? I get this studio does this and this studio does that, but why not have every studio you own put everything into the game. You have your lead studio because it's their franchise, fine, but everything you own should go into that one game, considering you're making billions a year. And you're starting to see that reflection where Activision's like, oh, we can't just do whatever we want anymore because people are going to start reacting to it.
Yeah.
And I think, like you said, it took people like Nick Merckx, Courage, Tim the Tatman, Closey, big content creators to say, I'm done with Warzone. I'm going to go play something that is responsive, cares about its players, its fan base, and stuff like that. And it's nice to see them kind of be like, okay, maybe we don't have it all figured out. We want to make a game you guys love. We're going to put all our resources into it. And it seems like it's getting a really tag team effort because, one, I think COVID pushed things back and they realized they need more manpower based off of how Black Ops went. And I think they're just tired of getting bashed on. Because I think for the past 2 years, at least once a week, everybody had something terrible to say about Activision.
Yeah.
52 weeks in a year. I think I said at least 52 terrible things about Activision.
Yeah.
At least.
Oh, absolutely. One quick thing, the message just popped away, but old Crash saying, that him and Mr. Lazy Lou will dominate as this game. Is that a little early jab, bud? You're trying to take on, I'm about it. Let's go. 2 controllers versus 2 mouse and key. What's good? Run some 2v2.
Let's see. Hey, listen. You guys want to throw it down on one of my streams? Absolutely. I'll see y'all there. Let's run it. I don't care.
Maybe we need to go run like a little friendly 2v2 right after the stream. What do you say?
I mean, why not?
Mr. Crash, Mr. Lazy Lou.
Oh, I don't have Cold War right now.
Oh, you're killing me.
Because I had to download Alpha.
Oh.
I'm
going
to read down Cold War after.
Do you two gentlemen have the Modern Warfare? That's the question.
I don't have Modern Warfare.
You just said you don't have Cold War.
I don't. I have Warzone, MLB The Show, and Alpha. That's it. That's all that fits on my PlayStation.
Oh, we're in a debacle. Well, we can reconvene on this idea here.
Not on PC. Oh, okay.
No. You pump the brakes there, pal. He's saying he doesn't have it on his PC. He has the game on his PlayStation. Oh. Yeah, see? I knew what you were saying, what is the gabagoo with this guy? But no, kind of to tie it back to the CDL aspect though, dude. Oh my goodness, is there so much stuff going on right now? So much stuff. I mean, I was just seeing today, New York got rid of their coach. NYSL said bye-bye to their coach. Seattle, I called that at the beginning of the year. Hard reset on everything. Coach, all players, donezo, gone. Which, dude, I don't know why.
I still don't understand that. I'm sorry to cut you off, but maybe it's an organizational thing where they wanted to stick with their guys and show loyalty to the roster. But what is the point? What is the point of going through the entire year with the same roster, having a great run in the last major and getting cut off at champs because you had a terrible year until the last major? They showed real sparks of really good gameplay in the last major and then say kick rock, slap beef, thanks for coming, see you later. That doesn't make any sense to me. They had the whole year to make changes and do something different, and all of a sudden the season's over, we're just going to be like, whatever. But my point is there was so much time in the year, and we were hitting the panic button so early for Seattle. This is so dumb to me. This is a too little too late, in my opinion. They fired everyone. Okay, cool. This should have happened after Major 2.
I think there's definitely stuff that's come out afterwards, stuff that I didn't, obviously we don't know going behind the scenes, but, I can't even remember. It was a type of loan that popped out because of COVID. Seattle took that to pay players and coaches. So that was part of it, I think, a money aspect. And then also, I watched a video from Octane probably about an hour before we hopped on. Every player in the league had a 1+1 contract. So they were locked in with the org for 1 year, and then that +1 was org decision based. So Optic, could have said to Arcides, no, we're keeping you, instead of letting him go. Atlanta could have said, no, we're keeping you, Priesta, we're not letting you go, or Major Maniac, or whatever. The orgs had that control for this year, which I think that's a cool idea. Contract structure moving forward, I don't know what's going to happen, but that was part of it, I think, is the org retained him, and then I don't think that they could afford to get anybody else, honestly, with what they did with the loan situation and stuff like that. But then it's also, how are you this massive company?
It's Luminosity, though.
Well,
it's Luminosity, though.
There's a parent company over Luminosity, too. Luminosity is like the gaming aspect of it, but somebody above them, I don't remember the name right off the top of my head. So it's just, there's no excuse.
It just seems to me Luminosity has other good esports teams. Their Valorant team is good. It's just, to me, it's like, it seems like they pulled their resources out of CDL to put them somewhere else. That's all I'm going to say. I like Luminosity. I interact with Reverb, who's a Luminosity guy on Twitter. I interact with Luminosity. I like them. I like the org and everything. It just seems like Seattle, oh, God, I don't know. I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe it was something I don't even see. I don't know anything about, but oh, my God. I wanted Seattle to do really good. I wanted them to make roster changes, and I kept waiting for Pristini, and he had his weeks for sure. He didn't have a terrible year the whole time. He had some good matches, some good series, some good maps, whatever. But it just never came together. I don't think that team looked like they like each other. Just personality-wise, I don't think Gunless, Octane, and Pristini can physically vibe together. You might have been right, it might be a money thing. It just doesn't seem like those three would fit together at all.
It's so hard to say. I mean, if you want to reach it for something, for sure. I mean, you could put that beef of, hey, Gunless, we got rid of you off Optic or Huntsman, not even beef, so that we could get Pristini. So I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting to see what 4 players end up there. LAT, my second favorite team. What? They had seven players, at one point or another. So that's gonna be nuts to see. I mean, what they got, the 4 that were at champs, and Draza, Slasher, Kenny, and I'm drawing a blank.
Major. No Major. No Slasher, Kenny, Venom, and
Venom wasn't.
Who was that guy?
No, John. There we go. So it was John, Kenny, Slasher, and Draza at champs. But then they also got TJ on the bench. They also got Venom on the bench, and they got Hook on the bench too. They got 7 players.
He's not staying.
It's gonna be so interesting to see where these people land.
I think Nadeshot was really smart to pick him up because I think he still has a lot of value. Obviously, I don't know what happened at the end of this year. Things got really crazy for Hook. He even got benched in LA. I think when he was in Dallas and things were going well for him, he was an MVP candidate. He was the reason Dallas was winning.
Dude, I got so frustrated that nobody that cast or anything like that gave Hook any credit on Dallas. It was so two-head play to me. I thought it was so dumb seeing them gas Illy and gas, Shotzi when those guys weren't doing. They weren't. You're not that guy, pal. Trust me.
Well, that's the thing. It's they're oh, our Game Fuel player spotlight's on Shotzi. Meanwhile, Hook drops a 30 bomb.
Yeah.
And Shotzi goes 11-9 because he's playing angles like a rat SMG. Why? What happened with Hook? Is he getting blackballed in the league? Because that's what it kind of seems like to me.
I mean,
I'm not gonna lie, dude. It seems like he pissed off Krim, and ever since he pissed off Krim and said that, we haven't heard a word out of Hook. Ever since Krim said, I'm going to make a statement about this, Hook hasn't said anything. And legally, that makes sense, right? Because, in lawsuits and stuff like that, you don't want to put your foot in your mouth twice before somebody else says anything at all. which makes sense because Krim has yet to say what his piece is. But it just seems to me like Hookie's either going to have a sick year next year, or we're never going to hear his name again.
I mean, it's definitely interesting, and we could rabbit hole down that for another 45 minutes just
Hour.
on the just on the Hook
Yeah.
situation. Um, it's definitely one thing that I hope I'm right in saying this in my like way too early take is I hope that this year substitute players are utilized more. I think with the situation, whatever happened with Clay, I think would be a prime example where, hey, I have this guy that's on the bench that I know can come in and slay out and get us a win, or help us get to a win without having to try and just shoot for a prayer. I definitely would love to
New
see that.
York, you saw teams use their bench. I think New York used their bench a lot. They use Diamond Con a lot. He's a bench guy that gets pulled in and out of challengers a lot,
Well,
which
that's what
on a
I'm
side
saying
note,
though.
that's
I'm
got to be really
saying
hard
I'm
to
saying
do.
on
But
a consistent basis, not where it's just, oh, hey, I'm gonna take time off because of X, Y, and Z and not know the reason, or the ASIM situation with the visas, not coming in and they scrambled
yeah, and
last
Hydra,
minute, and Hydra too.
Hydra
So
too.
it's I don't want to see a last minute scramble. I want to see subs used more frequently, is what I'm saying. Um,
So you're saying like it's not like, oh my God, there's a sub. It's like baseball where you're like, oh, this guy's playing today.
yeah,
Well, I
exactly.
wonder what's going on. This guy's playing today, but tomorrow this person may be back.
And maybe it's a matchup thing. Like, hey, I know I got this guy's number. Let me get this guy in.
Yeah,
Um,
it's like yeah.
A what if
Like based
situation.
on our vetoes and the maps we got, this player map in mode plays really well in this series compared to this one. We're gonna sub them out. Like from a matchup standpoint, I really really like that,
I
and
th-
I think that would be cool to bring coaches into that because I don't think they talk enough about coaches in the CDL. I think it would be
no.
super interesting to talk about them more. And you see, they get interviews and stuff like that, but not like they do in other sports, right? Like
Oh, for
we
sure.
talk to the coach.
Definitely.
End of the game, we talk to the coach. Like I think that would be the next step of getting to that mental level. Because right now during the cast, they talk about what's going on and they talk about strategy, but I think it's too fast for people that are new to grasp it. Like when I listen to Maven and Merc talk, they're great. They're saying a lot of great stuff. Merc says so many cool things, but like when I think about it, sometimes I miss stuff, and then I sit there, and I'm like, if I'm not a Call of Duty person, I have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah, that
And
it
like
definitely
that
is
might be
like
a
the
time
learning
thing and
curve.
stuff like that, but it would be nice to have a coach because a coach of a CDL team isn't going to be like, well, the hard point in the rotations and blah blah blah. They're going to make it simple, like we need to get out there and attack, play our trades effectively, use small keywords so people can start to plug and play things. I'm not saying, you know, baby feed everything to everybody, but that little extra like piece of knowledge from someone behind the scenes that doesn't
Oh
normally
yeah.
talk that just says something cool would be awesome.
Oh, for sure. I think the coaching aspect, I think teams need to invest more in coaching. I think every team needs to have a coach. I think every team needs to have an S&D specific coach and then like an analyst. Hey, you're going to be the one to break down film on this team for us. But kind of a little bit backtracking on the sub thing, I think that it should be a situation where, hey, I know I'm playing this team first. I have to lock in my roster though on who's actually starting before we do any map votes or vetoes. Um, crazy what if is Octane ends up on Optic, and then he could be a super good, bench player, roll in on a map where you can run four or your three ARs and one sub. You could have him, Formal, and Dashy with like a scump. You know what I mean? So stuff like that I think will be interesting. I really hope map design is good in this game. I really, really do. It's just,
I think that's the biggest thing that we've just been so frustrated with because we've been playing Call of Duty together, what, for the last like three titles. And that's one thing we've always been really looking forward to is new maps and new map releases. And then time and time again, we just get punched in the face with bad map after bad map. And every like four or five, we get one that's like, all right, that's pretty cool. Like, I like it. But am I going to go sit there and play a 24/7 playlist of it? No. I can't tell you a map like I want to play a 24/7 playlist of besides Shipment.
At this point, I think honestly what needs to happen is a map like Raid, a map like Standoff.
Yes.
They just need to carry off over into every COD. I think they need
Did you see what Courage tweeted?
That's exactly what I was about to tie in. Is
Yeah.
there's maps that are so quintessentially good for Call of Duty
Yes.
competitively, and then
Competitive,
also just on a casual aspect, that I would love to see it just reeled into every single Call of Duty. One Eye says that you guys are very
Yeah.
interesting. I know we're kind of all
I'm
over
gonna
the
choose to
place.
take
We're
choose
definitely
to take that as a compliment.
Yeah, for sure. I know that we're definitely all over the place for sure. And we're kind of just, winging it for sure. We just wanted to get back. And
I
yeah,
honestly think this has been our best vibe show we've had. Like we're just shooting it.
yeah, I think
We're
we've
just
had
shooting
good
and having a
ones.
good time right now.
Yeah, definitely we've had good ones for sure in the past too, and this is definitely up there. I think that honestly, it's just the fact that it's the first one back in forever.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, really, I'm interested to see expansion wise. That's going to be the interesting thing. I've said it before. The 4 cities that I want to see the most, I think Boston would be a great city. I think Philly would be a great city. I think Vegas would be a great city. And then, to kind of spread it out.
You need an EU, yeah.
I mean,
or not an EU, but
I,
you do because you do.
yeah, Kent, said it right there is Indianapolis, and then our good old
Little
Little
Rock.
Rock, to take it way back. I think the CDL will eventually be able to get there, where it's going to be an NA and an EU, almost like NFC and
Separate
AFC.
leagues.
No, the same league, but divisions. And I think when the CDL breaks down into that, then having the NA West, the NA East, the EU, North
Super
South.
fun.
I think that's going to be super super cool. I think honestly
Have an EU champ and NA champ like they do in Challengers, and then have a grand tournament at the end of the year. That's you have an NA bracket, an EU bracket, winner of each world champ. That'd be I think that's what they're going to.
I think so
do
too.
Eventually.
And then I mean the other thing that I'm brought up is an idea that I've had is everybody complains that there only being 12 teams right now. What they need to do is every single CDL team needs to have an academy team. They play their series throughout Challengers. CDL plays their series throughout CDL week by week, but all 24 of those teams show up to a major. And the only reason for that, you put 25 million for this spot. Yes, but I could split it between 2 teams. You could have, New York is a prime example. They have a solid academy team. They can bring.
They're really good. Yeah.
Say Zuma's healthy again. Say they get Octane. Say they get somebody else. They've got a squad that's playing on their academy team. That's their bench also. And then you tie it right in, and everything just gears. I think that that's an easy way to fix. Have more competition throughout. Does it happen? And okay, somebody's gonna make the argument. Okay, what if NYSL versus NYSL Academy? Is somebody gonna throw? Fuck no. Excuse my French, but nobody's gonna throw because guess what? At the end of the day, everybody in this league is highly, highly, highly competitive. Dang, we just got 2 more, and
Yes, sir.
Grimhaven appreciates you, and then Toxic Sorrow appreciates you.
Toxic, thanks for the love. Appreciate it.
So I definitely don't think that that's a worrisome. And then, what if they, NYSL Academy versus NYSL, the primary team ran all the way through winners, the academy team ran all the way through, losers bracket. If you allow that to happen,
I don't know why you would have challengers there, though. I don't like that.
Well, the only reason is because look at how the format was for champs. You played 1 match a day where you won what, 1, 2, and you were in grand finals. You won 2 matches and you were in grand finals. Whereas how it used to be, you had to win 8 just to get into the bracket itself.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. But here's what I'm going to say to everybody that says that. Hold on. Wait. We'll get there. We only have 12 teams. As we expand and as we get more revenue as a league and as there's more teams added, they will get there, yes.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Everybody's saying, oh, there should have been 12 teams at champs. No.
No,
I don't want Seattle Surge making a run at champs and winning after they've done nothing all year. There's no incentive. That makes the regular season stupid. They should be able to win a major, sure. They can make a run at a major. I'm okay with that. I don't care. But champs is the best of the best. It's champs, not the 12th team making a Cinderella run. I don't care. You suck. You couldn't make it out of the bottom spot in the league. You suck. I'm sorry. You didn't earn your spot. And it's something you said too. You can't just
I'm not.
give it to anybody. They have to earn the spot. I think if it's a $25 million buy-in, you better be busting your ass to make that top 8.
No, I'm not.
I'm sorry. That's how I feel.
No. I'm not taking that away, and I'm not arguing you. I'm more devil's advocate. Yes, should have all 12 teams been at champs? No, I agree with that. But they set that out from the get-go. They said, hey, only the top 8 teams are going to champs. They said that before the year started.
Why are we complaining?
Exactly.
Why are we complaining?
But if they were to change it next year and, hey, all 12 teams are at champs, okay, whatever. But at least they say that at the get-go. Everybody, I think part of it, online, definitely showed. Seattle was far and above way better on land than they were online. Nobody can take that away. But the only reason I brought that academy team aspect up is just because it was so short-lived, that it wasn't long enough, it felt like, and...
What, champs itself?
Yeah, champs itself, that's what I'm saying. Like, you won Phase 1, their matchup against... Who did they play? Toronto the first time, right?
Yeah,
they beat New York, they played Toronto, and then they were in grand finals. You know what I mean? It's from where it was to where it is. Yes, I get it that it's a different system now, but it's almost too short-lived. It's not entertaining enough. I'll put it that way. At least for me, it's not entertaining enough when I have 2 CDL matches to watch all day. It's boring.
That I get behind. I get that, but what I'm trying to say is that we're not there yet. We're not there. We just don't have the teams. It's a high buy-in league. I get it, and I get people want more. I understand.
That's why I'm saying
we're gonna get there.
It's an easy.
We're gonna get there, but it's.
I'm not saying make that a permanent
the academy
thing.
Teams is it.
I don't think.
Okay, so how about this? What we do is we do it like they did this year as a 4-week stage, right? So you get 3 weeks of home series and 1 week off is an online week. So players can go home, rest up, just play online for a week. It's placement. It won't be the last, it won't be week 4 because I don't think that's right to do that. Mm-hmm. Entertainment wise, I think that'd be really stupid. But anyway, you do that. You go through, have your major, have each team host a major. No, you can't do each team host a major. You do a neutral major, right? So you do a CDL hosted major, but you still have your home events during the stages. And then you get there. Say, even if we go to a 16-team league, we add 4 teams next year. Probably won't happen, but let's just say it does. What we can do now is we can have 12 teams make champs, and then 4 teams kick rocks because they weren't good enough to make it. But I think I get what you're saying, and I think the league is just handcuffed by the number of teams it has. And I think having a $25 million buy-in seems like a lot to you and me, yes. But these financial investor groups that care about this stuff can find the money, and to act like people aren't going to put up the money for that is stupid, considering how much esports prize pools are skyrocketing based on advertisements and stuff like that, and how much steam it's picked up. And I get what you're saying. You're right. Ideally, that's where we'd like to be. But I don't want to ruin the good foundation we have right now by trying too much crazy shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's a good foundation because last year we didn't have we had all 12 at champs. We didn't have the top 8.
No, I know, but I'm
And
saying now we do. Now
um
we do. We're not gonna let anybody in a chance. I don't think that should happen. Every major, absolutely. But I just don't think if you're trying to set the stage for the best Call of Duty event of the year, they need to. I think they need to hype it a little better. I feel like it was just like, oh hey, here's chance, like,
well,
and then
and
I think that had a lot to do with COVID and stuff. But yeah,
the only I'll kind of get off this subject, but the only other reason why I think it is good though is because then it's going to put eyes on the challengers. It's going to force you to watch them. I've watched challengers for 20 minutes since it's been a thing.
I
And
know,
that's
but dude,
total.
like, are we
So
watching like spring training games where the Yankees play the Tampa Yankees? We're
no,
not doing
no,
that.
no, no.
Nobody
I'm
wants to
saying
see that shit.
we trimmed it down from year 1 from 60 to 48. 12 people, boom, gone right away. And there was plenty more people
Right.
that could have been in the league. That's what I'm saying. Those 12 people that went away can end up on a team. Now we'll use
So you want to talk about roster size being an issue, or
no,
do
no,
you want to
no.
talk about
Because I think
there's not
4v4
enough teams?
4v4
Right. So
COD is perfect. But that's what I'm saying. Optic, I'll use
I
my
think I'd
team
like
for an
5v4.
example. Have Optic as, who they have now, Formal, Dashy, Envoy, boom. But then have an
Right.
academy team of Envoy,
I'm okay with
a
that.
Hook, and all that. And I'm not saying one for one swap, but why can't you bring those teams in, have them run their own season, almost like a NA and a national and an American league, boom. Let them run their things, and then throw everybody in at the end, or take
I'm like,
there's 12 teams, take the top 8 from or academy teams, take the top 8 from boom, and then mesh those. Then you have 16 vice 8 playing each other, because it's not going to take away anything from the Call of Duty aspect. You're not complaining about, oh well, it would be different if a challengers team that as challengers is right now, a bunch of teams and nobodies or former pros not picked up by an org that beat a $25 million league spot. That's a bad eyesore on the league. But if it's a
that's what
25
I'm saying. Why would you even do that?
if it's a $25 million spot, this is Optic, this is still Optic, boom.
I don't understand what you're trying to sell me at all. I think that's the issue we're running into here. I don't
It's
actually understand what you're trying to
it's
say. Like, I don't understand how that's advantageous, because I feel like you just said that it would be cool if
essentially each Call of Duty team has 2 teams.
I'm okay with that, but there should be 2 leagues. I don't think we should combine them,
No,
because I
I'm
think
saying
that's
meet
just
up
too
at
much.
champs because it's not enough. It's not enough. You win
I don't want.
you win 2 games and you get into grand finals. Granted, FaZe, okay, take FaZe out of the equation, and then boom, you win 2 games though and you're in grand finals. No.
Okay, so you take away the exception of FaZe was Rockstar money all year. Say that doesn't happen, and next year it's closer all year. Doesn't that make it so much more a big deal that you win your fucking regular season matches, so you can have that advantage to win 2 matches and then be in grand final at champs? That's something to strive for. We want to make the regular season count.
I think it's what's the way I can tie it into traditional sports. It's like trying to compare the NFL and the NBA. NFL, one and done all day. I'm behind it. But the NBA, you can't do that. And that's how I view Call of Duty is. Call of Duty's more NBA than NFL wise.
But it's not one and done. It's series.
What I'm saying is you shouldn't have to win just boom, boom, and then you're in. You know what I mean? Yes, it's a series still. But I'm saying is the aspect
You
of
have an issue with double elimination.
it's not even double elimination.
Because that's the way it works.
It's just not enough to get to where they need to be. You know what I mean?
I disagree. I think if they dominate all year like they did, they damn well earned that advantage, and it's up to everybody else to knock them off the throne.
No, I don't know.
If you come for the king, you better at a point system, regular season wins. I
I
mean,
mean, that's how it is right
that's
now,
just a
Ken.
repackaging, yeah.
It is right
I mean,
now. You know,
that's not
you
fixing the
get
issue.
you get X amount of points for winning the major. You get X amount per win. That's how it is already
hmm
now. But it's the aspect of there's just not enough Call of Duty played.
That's what I'm saying. I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is the answer is not happening next year.
No, and
You're not gonna get what you want next year.
I'm not
Listen,
saying it needs to get fixed right
I think
away. It was
I
an
think
idea
what you
to.
want will happen. No, yeah, and I just think challengers is very impractical. I think we just sit on what we have until we can expand the league and develop challengers. You need to, because if I don't know who these people are, like, why do I care about them? Like, I didn't know who John was until I saw him play. But if they did a better job of promoting challengers, I wanted to. I wanted to watch challengers, but for the life of me, I found it relatively difficult to find when and where to watch it, so I never did. But if they do a better job promoting that, it's like you're never going to get the mass appeal because it is the minor leagues. I get that, but people are still going to watch because it's Call of Duty, and real Call of Duty fans will really like that aspect of it. But I just don't think having your challengers teams ever come to CDL champs is a good idea. I think you're degrading the product. I get what you're saying with the risk reward. Like, fucking cool. Yeah, that would be great if the NYSL or the FaZe challenger team beat the FaZe team in champs final. That'd be great. But like at the same time, like why would I want to watch a pro team lose to a minor league team? I get what you're saying. But
That's where
as
you're
time
missing
goes
what I'm
on,
saying
we're
though.
gonna get more teams.
That's where you're missing what I'm saying though. Is I'm not saying it's a minor and a major. I'm saying team 1 and team 2. You know, but have
Yeah,
them
but I think that's dumb.
play in challengers because you can't just let's have 2 optic teams in CDL.
Right.
Let's have 2
So why would you do that at champs?
because challengers has already been an established thing for the last 2 years. I think that that's an easier thing than
That's fine, but keep it where it is. It's not easier than expanding. I'm telling you
it
right now,
is.
it's a bad idea if you were
No,
to do that.
I promise you it's not because you're locked in on saying it's a David versus Goliath and it's not. It's
Right,
it's
but I'm
one
saying
A and one
it's
B.
not. You're right. But the optic of it, not that
No,
was a little heavy-handed play on words. But like the optics of it is stupid. Oh, I'm gonna go watch optic versus optic. Like what the fuck?
if that's how it
You know what I'm
happens, that's how it
saying?
happens. But that's what I'm saying.
I think it's fucking dumb.
If
Keep it separate.
if there's what is that? 22 other teams that allow that to happen, they fucked up somewhere. That's what I'm saying.
I agree, but why are we going to set these teams up for failure if we're putting so much money in this fucking league? We want to make a joke out of our own teams? You're punching yourself in the dick. Sure. Okay, so here we go. Preseason, right? Preseason. Fucking money idea. Each team has a tournament. You do your academy teams because you're gonna have more than one roster versus your pro roster. Your pro roster is the 1 seed, and you have a couple other rosters set up from challengers. Preseason tournament. It's like training camp in the NFL. Guys make or break their spot by how they do in that tournament. Little competition. I think that would be cool. We're finding like that idea of using challengers, that would be super cool. You give us a preseason tournament of watching upcoming young players that could be pro but maybe aren't there yet. I think that's a money idea. You want to talk to me about that? I think that's $1 million idea.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yes,
significantly
Ken, I'm
more
talking a
games.
major and a minor.
You're way behind on that.
No,
That I think honestly, what's the better way of saying it? Because I think you're missing
I don't think I am.
the bracket's too small. That's all there is to it.
No, I get that, but I don't think the answer is throwing challengers into the pro league. I get what you're saying.
You're
it is
locked.
a problem. I agree,
but
I don't agree that that's the answer
That's where
at all.
it's the verbiage now is what you're locked in. Is how it's coming from me. Don't look at it as challengers. Look at it as Optic and Optic Nation. Look at it as New York
That's
subliners
stupid.
and
They
Brooklyn
used to. I know what
subliners.
you're saying. They used to do that, and I think it's stupid. They had like what was it? United and United, right? Is that what it was? They were like the same. Is that what it used to be? I don't know.
Um,
But I've seen that before, and I think it's stupid. Here's the thing: not from a competitive aspect. The competitive aspect, more people playing, more teams, more competition, more content, more good. I get that. You're right about that. But if we're degrading our product, will people be as willing to put more money into it by just throwing more teams and stuff like that? I get what you're saying. I just think from a marketing standpoint, it's really confusing to have Optic and Optic Nation. Then your fans are like push and pull and you're kind of fighting yourself. And I think you're taking away from the brand you're trying to establish. And I think that's a whole new league. We're jumping back 3 years if you want to do that,
I
in
don't
my
know.
opinion.
I think we'll just have to agree to disagree. I think
Clearly, but I think I'm not seeing what you're seeing.
um, yeah. I don't. I mean,
I agree that the bracket's too small. I'll agree with that.
and
I don't
that's
think we agree on how to fix it, but
no. I mean, I
whatever.
know expansion is the way, but that's the thing. I'm not saying that, but that's
You're telling me it's outlandish to think we can get 4 teams in the next 3 years to get it to 16?
it's hard to say, but even 16's too small. You
But I
you
mean,
win
it's a
three
start,
games.
dude.
You win.
What are we gonna do? Grab 24 teams to make a legitimate league? I get what you're saying. I just don't think it's feasible. The NFL started with 6 teams. The NHL started with 6 as well, right? Original 6? Yeah, sorry. NHL started with 6 teams, dude. I get it. I understand, but we're not there yet. I believe in the CDL format, and I think things need to change. But I think personally, I'm not shitting on your idea. There might be people that agree with you. People might think I'm a fucking idiot. I don't know, but I just feel like if you want to establish a league, you gotta keep going with what you're going. I'm not saying you don't tweak stuff. I think the format could be tweaked. I think even having you want 12 teams at champs, fine. I think that's better anyway. But I think we need to introduce if you want to allow a path for challengers teams because there's a lot of challengers teams, you want to allow a path for a challengers team to become a CDL team. I'm okay with that. I'm not saying because Optic has a subdivision that is, a challengers team. But if they come to the league, I'm okay with that, but they shouldn't be branded as Optic. They should be another team. Like they could be like the Boston, something related. Like, I don't know. I'm not even going to throw a name at the wall because I don't know. But I don't know. I just feel, I get what you're saying, and we're just going in circles, and we should move on.
Fair enough. Um, yeah. I mean, we'll see. Uh, I'm definitely ready for just the whole new game. I'm ready for the whole new Warzone. Um, and it can't come soon enough. I mean, we're down to. Let me double check how many days now. Come on, Google. How many?
You got a shout out about your shirt, bro.
Oh, I mean, it's pretty cool. I like the back too. You know, Mr. Tatman Army. So we're down to 73 days. That's not 73 days till the season. That's 73 days till the new game. So let's go.
Vanguard, yeah.
But
It can't get here soon enough, man.
no, it really can't. But I think on kind of an abrupt wrap up, but we're sitting at about an hour 20 right now. I'm kind of spent on ideas. I don't know about yourself.
I think we had an awesome conversation with a couple ideas, and I think we really just kind of let our brains explode, and I think it went really well.
For sure.
Good first spot back for sure.
But yeah, everybody. I appreciate everybody that came in. I appreciate all the new followers. I appreciate our our homie. Definitely plugging us. I see you, buddy, and I appreciate it. And yeah, I think that'll wrap us up here on the CoDzone podcast. definitely tune in for the next one. Have a notification or something set, and yeah, keep your eyes peeled. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us here at the CoDzone podcast. See y'all later.
Peace.